What's up, bike people? This is Fossil Fool coming at you from the back garden of Rock the Bike, and I'm here with Kate Zuckerman, cousin Kate. Really happy to be welcoming Kate for the second of our cooking show videos to show you some really cool ideas for how to make pedal-powered foods. Kate is a pastry chef and author, and she's very passionate about sustainable foods and also about teaching kids about food and how to get kids involved in the cooking of food so they care and take that with them. Welcome, Kate.
Thank you. I have started a business where I am making the bike available to people in the New York metropolitan area. The business is called Sweet Cycle, and it's for events for people to have the bike at their party or their fair, and we can make smoothies and or ice cream. We're going to make a dairy-based ice cream that's flavored with cardamom and oatmeal cookies, and it's an ice cream that is thickened with xanthan gum and locust bean gum and rice flour.
Now this is an area of one of your passions. You've just named three ingredients that most people have never heard of. And what is the normal way that ice cream is thickened in a dairy-based custard?
So ice cream is a custard that you churn, and it's a custard that holds water in a gel so that when you churn it and freeze it, the water that's in the gel doesn't freeze into ice crystals. And the normal way that we can hold water in a gel and prevent it from making grainy ice crystals is to use egg yolks. When they're heated, they expand and hold water in a gel, and the water never freezes when you churn it on the ice cream in an ice cream machine, and it never becomes grainy on your tongue. Over 20 years, I used cases upon cases of eggs, and each case had 360 eggs in it. I probably cracked 10,000 eggs in my life, a lot of eggs. And the more you use something, the more you feel its impact on the world around you and plants and animals and their relationship. And in the last couple of years, I decided that I didn't want to use all these eggs in ice cream, and that I could find other ingredients that could form gels and make ice cream creamy, and I wouldn't be using 16 egg yolks for the batch of ice cream I'm going to make today. I've taken care of chickens since I stopped chefing full time, and I know what it takes to get chickens to lay 16 eggs. So I did a whole bunch of research on all the various gums and starches on the market to thicken ice cream. And I came up with a combination of three things that I like to use to hold water in a gel in ice cream so that when we churn it on the ice cream bike, it's really creamy.
Nice, and these are natural ingredients,
These
right?
are natural ingredients. The first ingredient is locust bean gum, which is from the carob tree. It's the seeds of a carob. Carob is a Mediterranean tree that we've been eating for centuries. Carob powder is often a substitute for chocolate. And so locust bean gum comes from just grinding up the seeds. And rice flour is just rice starch. It thickens the ice cream. And xanthan gum is a little bit new, very common food additive. It's made from bacteria. So bacteria eat starch. They eat corn and wheat starch, and they exude xanthan gum. The ice cream base that I'm making here today, which is about 15 cups of dairy, usually I would use about 20 eggs. And today we're going to use about a teaspoon of locust bean gum and just over a quarter teaspoon of xanthan gum and 3 tablespoons of rice starch. So that is a lot less.
Doing it this way is also easier because you don't have to follow the old step of coating the back of the spoon and knowing exactly what that means.
Yeah, egg yolks are very temperamental, and so when you cook egg yolks and you denature the protein so that they will hold water, if you overheat them, they'll collapse and your gel is destroyed. So when you're making creme anglaise or ice cream base and you're thickening milk and cream with egg yolks, you really have to be very careful, and it can be stressful for the cook.
So this way is more forgiving.
Definitely more forgiving and easy. Yep, we're
Great.
just going to let it
better
boil.
for Rock the Bike
Yep.
customers and educators that just want to have fun cooking with kids.
Yep. This ice cream that we're making has more milk than cream. Most ice cream, especially the gourmet brands, have more cream than milk. This is not because we're seeking to make a low-fat ice cream. It's just because milk is more readily available, and I've created these wonderful thickeners to make a thick ice cream base. And I don't need the cream. I don't need the cream to expand the ice cream, to make it airy. And I don't need the cream. Cream often makes it more creamy, but since I'm using this blend of rice starch and locust bean gum and xanthan gum, I don't need all the cream. 1 cup of cream is like 8 cups of milk. I mean, my goal is really to make ice cream with less of an impact on the environment. So if I can use more milk, that's my goal. We're going to take cardamom pods and we're going to grind them up in a mortar and pestle and put them in the hot cream and milk and thicken it with our locust bean gum and xanthan gum and make the base. And then we're going to add crumbled oatmeal cookies. But you can make any flavor ice cream base this way. You could use the same recipe to make vanilla ice cream. You would just cut this vanilla bean down the middle, like this, and then it's full of all these delicious seeds, and you would just scrape out the seed, put this in the milk and the cream, and we could make vanilla ice cream. I'm going to put 1 3/4 cups of cane sugar in the milk and the cream. What's really beautiful about this Immergood ice cream machine is the rate of pedaling doesn't make the churn go so fast that too much air gets into the machine. A lot of commercial ice cream is pumped full of air. You see the steam? That means it's hot. It's going to pick up the flavor of the cardamom. And then when we're done with the ice cream base, we're going to strain it out. So I'm just going to put that in. I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt. Salt brings out flavor, okay? It's really important always to add. Okay, so I have my xanthan gum, locust bean gum, and sugar in here. I'm actually going to mix them all together and use the sugar so it doesn't clump up. I'm going to sprinkle this mixture while whisking into the ice cream base. Now this is how you would make any ice cream. We're going to simmer it for about 45 seconds, and then we're going to strain out the cardamom and chill it as quickly as we can. If we were making an ice cream that was thickened and emulsified with egg yolks, this would be a very important moment where you'd have to watch the pot very carefully, because if the egg yolks boil, the proteins break apart and release all the liquids that they're holding in a gel. And that does not happen here when we're mixing in the xanthan gum, the locust bean gum, and the rice flour. And the other thing that's nice is egg yolks tend to they have a flavor. And this ice cream, they have a wonderful flavor. I love eggs, but sometimes it's nice to make a clean ice cream that just has the flavor of what you're infusing, whether it's vanilla or coconut or cinnamon. It just makes a sort of brighter, lighter, clearer flavor when you don't have the egg yolks. While we're waiting for this to simmer, we can use the blender over here to grind up some hazelnuts, which are going to be a topping. Go for it. Beautiful. So we're almost there. I can tell you because I see the base thickening up as I mix it, and I'm just waiting for a few bubbles. I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to strain it in through here. I'm just basically straining out the cardamom. The last thing I'm going to add to this ice cream are the chopped up oatmeal cookies. It's a great way to get flavor into your ice cream. When it's hot, you just add it in and let it soften, and then you can churn it with this in it. Okay, so this is going to go on ice right now, and we want to get it down in temperature.
Last year when you helped do the ice cream chefing at the Bicycle Music Festival, that was when we came up with this Gatorade jug system, and it ended up making a big difference.
Yeah, we made about 10 gallons of ice cream on a 90-degree day and served it over a period of 4 hours, and it held its temperature. For us to chill it properly, we need it to sink down into the ice. We are going to put our base in, put the cover on, add ice, salt, water, and then we're going to put it back together and start churning.
Notice that the ice, I'm carrying it around inside this Gatorade style cooler because it's really important to keep your ice cold. She's centering the canister.
Okay, next, we're gonna add a lot of salt to the periphery.
And now we're gonna pour some super cold water on it.
And when you want this to settle down on here, it seems like it's never gonna get on here. The best thing to do is just spin it and it'll fall down into place like that.
Nicely done.
Put the belt over first. And so to get the belt on, you just kind of rotate it around like that. And now we need it to be taut. So we're gonna put the tension rod on here. All right, so we need a first peddler. Go, Sora.
And Sora, just so everyone knows, how old are you?
4. I'm 5.
Sora just turned 5. This is about as small of a person that can normally ride one of our frames, and she's making ice cream with her body. It's so good.
Yay, Sora! I'm gonna agitate the salt and the ice and the water. and this is kind of interesting, you're increasing the surface area of the cold around the canister. So if you have someone standing here doing this to the ice and the water, it will keep the temperature down. It's really important to keep this ice salt water mixture around less than 20 degrees. And one of the best ways to keep track of the temperature with this, I don't have it with me today, is a compost thermometer. They're really long and you can just leave them in here and you can monitor the temperature the whole time. We are just scraping all the ice cream off the dasher. This is the dasher. This is what makes the ice cream really great. Okay, so what's interesting about a dasher, it has these center pole with all these holes. And what that does is as it spins, it makes the liquid in the canister move around so that all the ice cream has contact with the outside of the canister, and it chills really effectively. And the best way to store this ice cream, it will keep for hours in this setup with the metal, which is nice and tall. And you just put it in the salt and the ice, and you leave it in here, and you let it sit. And usually, if you let it sit for, I mean, this is pretty servable, but a half hour, and stirring it and scraping along the sides and taking what's chilling on the outside and moving it to the inside and what's inside to the outside, you'll have great gelato consistency ice cream in now or in 30 minutes. And this is a great way to store this at events. People can churn it and then it can sit and you can serve it up to 3-4 hours later. And it holds the temperature.
Can we get a round of appreciation for Chef Kate? Otherwise known as Cousin Kate, all the way from Brooklyn, out here visiting her California family and bringing her delicious ice cream. Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel like Kate really did a beautiful job of hitting on the reasons why she likes getting kids involved with food, wanting to help kids early on establish a connection to the food that they're putting in their bodies, which also establishes a connection between them and the planet, because they start caring about the fields where it comes from, the trees where it comes from, and the farmers who grew their food. And we at Rock the Bike also feel that a similar connection can be had with kids and the energy that fuels our worlds. And by giving them a chance to directly power a cool experience like making ice cream, they start caring about where energy comes from, and they become better stewards of the environment.